morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Green.
Good morning.
Green.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Green, do you have driver's license, insurance, or registration or anything like that?
Yeah, I got my driver's license, my registration.
Is your driver's license good?
Yeah.
Running driver's license.
Okay.
Kevin Lewis. Good morning, Mr.
Yes.
Lewis.
Good morning.
Mr. Lewis, do you have insurance?
Yes.
All right, I want you to send me, both of you, I'm giving you my information in the chat.
All right. Sure.
I sent my email address.
Okay.
I gotta go.
She's valid. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know why. But here we go. Mr. Gomes, you want to check this out? Ms. Green, she drove a couple of days before her license got reinstated. I don't know why it didn't get reinstated on the date of 2020 date, but it's reinstated on 2021. It's 115.
Well, access. Sure.
Mr. Lewis, can you unmute your phone, please, till we get to you?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Got that address, email address?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
It's in the chat. Hit that chat button down at the bottom of the screen. You wrote it for everything in the book.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Not yet. Good morning, Ms. Bradfield.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. One. No, drunk driver. But she was, what's the use in, what's the use in expired plates and dirty plates and all that kind of stuff? That's,
I'm just saying that's what, I know the reason why.
I don't think that's the reason why. I don't think that's the reason why. I would suspect that that's the reason why.
I would hope not.
But, I mean, I don't know, whatever the case, like, I don't know, you know.
But you know, anytime I see more, I take it off.
I would.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Ms. Williams Law. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Sean B. Perkins. Our court is in session. Please keep your backgrounds quiet and clear. Sit back with your names to be called. Also, if you're in a vehicle, there is no driving while court is in session. Also, there will be no talking, eating, drinking, gun, chewing, walking around, and any kind while court is in session. Please be properly dressed at all times. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, members. Okay, I'm waiting on, Ms. Green. Are you sending me some documentation?
Yes,
Okay, and Mr. Lewis, you're sending me some documentation as well? You're muted, sir. Megan. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm sending it.
Can I get your last name, Megan?
Good morning. It's not Megan. It's actually Hamzi. Hamzi Sob.
Say that again.
Hamzi, Hamzey. My last name is Sob, Sobh. I don't know why it's showing up as Megan, Your Honor.
Okay, so, Mr. So, oh, you're attorney.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your client?
Samantha Loree, Loree.
Okay. All right, Samantha Loree. Formal hearing. We're waiting on Officer Hall, I guess. We're gonna give Officer Hall at least 30 minutes to check in from 8:30.
Okay.
And we'll, say your first name, counsel. Spell your first name, counsel.
Hamzey, Hamzi.
Okay, Mr. So.
Then, if it's fine by you, Your Honor, I'll just place myself on mute until I.
Very well, thank you. Another easy one. All right, I got Kevin Lewis. I got insurance documentation, I believe. Now I have Mrs. Green.
Yes.
National General, State of Michigan, no fault insurance on a 2018 Ford Escape.
Yes. I know. I'm no longer on the Equinox.
You no longer own the Equinox.
No.
All right, I got Kevin Lewis, East Side of Drive. You want to shut that?
Yes.
Got
It's out of drive.
insurance misdemeanor. He doesn't no longer own the Chevy that he got the ticket in, but he has a 2018 Ford Escape.
That's the only thing.
It's the only ticket. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready? Everyone? I'm
Yes,
talking
Your
about
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm just talking about my staff here. Okay. Let's call the
Yes, sir.
case. All right. Let's call the case. I don't know if you'd be considered my staff. You're part, but you're part of the team on this Rathfield for sure. Let's see here. This is the City of Detroit versus Kevin James Lewis, case number 207-07-6661. Appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daphne Bradfield, P70578, on behalf of Mr. Lewis. State your name for the record, sir.
Kevin Lewis.
May I please honorable court Dante Boston, P60162 on behalf of the city of Detroit. Your Honor, at this time, due to proper documentation, the city is moving to dismiss this matter.
Okay. The city's going to dismiss it. Mr. Lewis, you did provide current insurance now. We're going to waive the warranty. You're going to be responsible to pay a $45 reinstatement fee.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. If there's nothing further, sir, have a very good day.
Where do I make the payment?
You make the payment in the City of Detroit, on the 36districtcourt.org website, or any DivDav kiosk in the City of Detroit. Or you click down to the court to make the payment, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
$100 bond here. You have a $100 bond, so.
I paid it already.
No, I know that you got some money coming back. That bond can go toward that $45. If you come down
okay.
If you come down to the court, you can ask them to immediately apply that bond to the $45, or you can pay the $45 online, and that bond will be returned to you at some point. Or like you say, you can pay it any other way, or I can have my clerk put in a request for that bond to be applied, but you have to call the telephone number and see if that works for you.
Okay. I'll just come down there.
Very well. That's probably the best thing to do, sir. Have a great day, sir.
All right. You too.
All right.
Bye.
I have Mr. Glover, your trial. I have you for trial. So good morning to you, and we're gonna wait and give the officer a 30-minute grace period, so if he doesn't make it here by 9:30, your case will be dismissed. Mr., who's on the telephone at an 810 telephone number? Somebody call in at an 810 telephone number, they hung up. All right, Mr. Christopher Gibson. All right, I have him. Gibson, Raymond on OWPI. Let's go with Mrs. Green. Let's see what you provided me, ma'am. I'm in possession of a registration on a 2015 Chevrolet. Let's see. Seems like you and the officer probably had a little bit of disagreement on the scene out there. So I have a no valid registration certificate. The ticket was had on 1/8/2021, and this one expires on 12/14/2021. So it looks as though you got valid registration. You have a valid driver's license. So let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Alana Gail Green, case numbers SP 1153155, counts 1, 2, and 3, and SP 1153166, counts 1 and 2. Appearance for the record, please.
Daphne Bradfield on behalf of Ms. Green. State your name for the record.
Alana Gail Green.
Okay, we have, I'm in possession of your email with your valid certificate of insurance, a certificate of registration for 2015 Chevrolet, which this is a 2015 Chevrolet, and plate number's different.
Yeah, I had to get a new plate, Your Honor. It was canceled out.
Well, because of the dirty, obscured, or whatever?
Huh?
Well, because of the dirty plate?
Yeah,
Or,
they gave me a new one.
okay. I do not have a, well, so let's see what, I'm in possession of a valid driver's license, Secretary of State. What do you want to do? Dismiss them all? All right, well,
Because if I'm not mistaken.
it's all insurance and plate
Like you
license.
stated, and she got a new plate, so that takes care of the fire plate, the dirty plate. She have a driver's license, and she showed insurance.
No, she didn't show insurance.
She have insurance.
Do you have insurance, ma'am?
I don't have a car right now, but yes, I do
Say
have
it again.
insurance. Yes,
I didn't hear you.
I don't have the car right now, but I do have insurance on it.
You don't have the car, but you do have insurance.
Yes. The paper is in the glove box.
Oh, you can't prove it because it's in the glove box.
Yes, and I don't have the car.
That's a good one, Miss Green. That's a good one. All right, he's gonna dismiss the matters, Miss Green. All right, based on providing valid documentation for the most part. Case is gonna be dismissed. Provided valid ma'am, there's no warrant for a reinstatement fee. So all your matters are gonna be dismissed, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, you're welcome. Okay, let's go with, who's got the Mr. Jermaine Garner, I have you. But I don't see you on the docket. Jonathan Garner? Mr. Jermaine Garner, are you there, sir? Let's go with Marcus Glover then.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm here, Jermaine Garner, my mic is muted.
Marcus Glover, I already called you. You already know I'm waiting on your officer. Let's go with, who's got the Jermaine Garner, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now? I think my mic is muted.
Yeah, well, I don't see you on the docket. What do you have?
I just had I got a ticket back in January. It just says show cause.
All right, can you look up Jermaine Garner? Okay, and then who's on the LG Stylo 4?
Alicia Green. Good morning.
Okay. Morning, Ms. Green. And I see you.
Okay.
Do you have insurance registration, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Can you send that to me? I'm gonna send my email address in the chat to you. To everyone.
Okay.
It should pop up right now.
I'm gonna need a little guidance on how to do this.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to help. Maybe your lawyer on the line will be able to help you, ma'am.
Yes, so it's gonna pop up, you said?
Are you calling in from a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, can you tap the screen? And
Where
then,
I see your,
and then you'll see more in the corner.
okay, thank you.
Tap it, and then sit tap chat.
Chat. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I think she's gonna need a little more assistance than that. Because I was thinking that she was not gonna know how to email it or anything. But
I think what I'm gonna need help with is, now how do I come back to you? Hit the back button?
you're here, so
Yes. No, hit close. Hit close at the top corner.
Okay.
You're back? Are you back?
Yes, I see your picture. Okay.
that's not too much concerning, ma'am. I think pictures will pop up and go away and stuff like that. So just get us the documents.
Okay, excuse me, may I ask one more question?
Certainly.
Okay, so I know I probably have to take a picture of this, right? So you want me to send it to you while we're in court?
If you need to go offline and come back, then that'll be fine too.
Okay. So I'm going to go offline and you just want a picture of this and my registration? You don't need my driver's license?
No, I don't.
Okay. So let's see.
Mr.
Nope,
Gibson, where are you, sir?
it's not working.
I'm right here, Your Honor.
Where have you been, sir?
I've been here. I've watched like the last 3 cases.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Why you've been absent so long from court in regards to your case?
Oh, I made a court date. I set everything up, and then I was forced to work, and then what's the name happened? COVID. So I should have had a court date like a month or so, a couple months before COVID, and then COVID happened, and it set everything back.
No. We're going all the way back, sir. let's see. We're going all the way back to '09.
I didn't catch the case till 2011.
This is Christopher William Gibson. Gibson?
Christian. Yes, sir.
Christian, I'm sorry, that's my brother's name. Christian William Gibson.
Yes, sir. I can hear. Could you repeat that, sir? I couldn't hear.
Gipson, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Christian William Gibson. Case number is 0532818. Appearance for the record, please.
Daphne Bradfield on behalf of Mr. Gibson. State your name for the record, sir.
Christian William Gibson, Sr.
All right, sir. This ticket goes back to 2007. And it appears that you had it appears, let's see. Judge Giles, supplemental sentencing. Violation of probation within the grade of life, clear guilty, court orders probation for 1 year. All previous orders in effect, 20-day Wayne County Jail. Did you go to jail, sir?
I went to jail when I got arrested. That was the only time I went to jail when
In
the actual case. 2015.
18?
18? No, sir. No, sir.
It said court for jail on 4/9/2018. Okay, what we're gonna have to do, sir, is we're gonna have to get probation here today. See what's going on and where you've been for so long, why this thing isn't closed out. Because it has jail time that you were supposed to report to jail on 4/9/2018 at 8:30 a.m. Then 20 days Wayne County Jail, work release, 73 days held in abeyance. So you really got 93 days, and they probably suspended to 73 days and told you to do the 20, and we're gonna offer you work release, but you either never showed up, from what you're telling me, I guess you never showed up.
No, I came back. See, something's wrong. The first judge gave me that, and then
Let's stop. Let me stop you, all right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with the lawyer. You can speak to the lawyer. We got, I can't stress how privileged you all are to have Mrs. Bradfield as your lawyer today. Sir, do you have a shirt on?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking to you. He knows who I'm talking to.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah. My name is Kenny Grigsby.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's gonna happen to figure this out is we're gonna give you an opportunity to speak with the lawyer. You'll give the lawyer there's some update on the way you see things, and then we will get probation in here, and we'll get their side of the story, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna go from next.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank
Join
you.
that break room, please. And we're
Okay.
gonna pass this matter.
Okay.
Who is YONNA? Yana? see what else we got. Okay, Mr.
YONNA, that's me. I'm sorry, I was muted.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Ayana.
Let's see. What's your last name?
Lipsy.
All right. Do you have insurance, ma'am?
Right now, sir, I do have proof of insurance. I can email it to you.
Please do that.
Do you know where I send it?
Yeah, I know where you send it. Do you know where you send it?
I have no clue.
All right, let's see if we can figure that out. All right. You should be, see a prompt on the bottom of the screen, ma'am.
Okay.
Where it's- All right. I'm gonna make this a little easier for you, ma'am.
Okay.
This is the city of Detroit versus Ayana Lipsy, case SP 11133. Ma'am, you have a related civil infraction that you paid is closed. Based on that, we're gonna dismiss the matter.
Okay.
I'm gonna accept representation that you're gonna provide me with insurance. I'm gonna waive the warrant fee now, and you're gonna be responsible to pay a $45 reinstatement fee.
Okay. No problem.
There's nothing further, ma'am. You have a great day.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Ms. Green, are you there? Miss Alicia Green? Oh, she went offline. It's waiting on their person. Busy. All right. Let's see what Grigsby has. Grigsby's, Kenyon. No shirt on.
Oh.
I
I'll be right back, Your Honor.
You might want to stay for a second. Do you have an operator for Mr. Griggs?
Is he a walkie?
No? Are these all the ROAs now? No?
Yes, I believe so. I can recheck with
No,
you.
don't worry about it. Some of these matters.
14 cases. I'll be right back. I'm just going to my office for a minute.
So,
That he pled to and never paid. I don't know how I can help you, sir.
How you doing today?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm okay. I don't know if my attorney jumped in yet, but he said he was
Who's your
supposed
attorney?
to. Mr. Werbley.
Ben Workman?
Yes.
Yeah, you need him.
give me a call.
Well, let's see if he's even signed up on it. And where did you retain him?
Yes.
All right, who are we waiting on? We got, let's get the show on the road, Counselor. Your client is here. You're here. It's 9:02. Well, your client's not here, you're here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, are you talking to me?
Yeah?
Okay.
So, you want this dismissal, don't you?
Yeah, and dismissal would be preferable and really appreciated, or a anything other than points on the record, maybe an impeding traffic, Your Honor.
Want your client to pay some money?
I mean, definitely not.
Okay.
A dismissal would work, and really appreciate
This
it.
is the state of Michigan versus Samantha May Laurie. Case number SX38990561. Appearance for the record, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Hamzi Sob appearing on behalf of the defendant.
All right. Today is the date and time set for a trial in this matter, well, a formal hearing in this matter. It's, let's see. Hearing was supposed to start at 8:30 a.m. You want to make a motion, Counselor?
Your Honor, I'd like to motion to dismiss this traffic ticket. We have my client was stopped for speeding, and although she claimed she was moving with the flow of traffic and did not pay attention to the traffic signs.
Counselor, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's not that, we're not even at the stage of what happened now, because, the state, the state trooper, Brad Connor, hasn't showed up, so let's keep it simple.
Your Honor, that I just moved to dismiss the traffic ticket.
Based on no officer, okay, is there Trooper Brad Connor? Trooper Brad Connor. I'm hearing no response from Trooper Connor. I'm suspecting that you have authority to enter into this agreement on your client's behalf, Counselor?
I do, Your Honor.
And I'm suspecting that you want to waive your client's first appearance?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, with that, I'll waive their appearance. You have authority to enter into this agreement, and I'm sure she wouldn't object anyway. We're going to dismiss the matter based on no officer. It's now 9:05. Officer was supposed to be here at 8:30. No officer, case dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, very well, sir. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Green, you're back
Yes, sir.
on the line.
Yes, ma'am.
For Mr. Let's get probation on the line for Mr. Gibson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, still don't have any documentation from you, Ms. Green.
Okay, I sent it through my email, and it was Sean Perkins.
Yeah, at 36 district.org. Just like I sent you in the chat.
Yep, that's where I sent it, and it said it was sent. I will try and send it again. Okay, I see that. That's just how I sent it. I'm gonna just, I think I can, I'm gonna try it again, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, you could try it again, and probably since you sent that picture. Since you sent that picture, it might take a little bit more time.
Okay.
You understand, Bowery? On Bisbee, that Bowery?
Yes. There's Mr. Grigsby. He's waiting on the court as well.
You waiting on what?
His lawyer.
Is this a trial or?
No.
Raymond?
Well, some of them are all old, so I'm not gonna waive the stuff he hasn't taken care of since 2014. He's gonna have to deal with that himself. If he's willing to do some things about trying to get a license, I will work with him on some of the late fees and stuff. He's gonna have to show that he is really serious about taking care of this, and he hasn't done that. He's here today, so I do appreciate that. That's a start. Right, Mr. Grigsby?
Yes, yes, sir. I thought you was talking to Mr. Green, Miss Greenfield.
No, Ms. Green doesn't have a laundry list of stuff. And she's bringing her stuff in. She came correct. She came here on time. She's gonna provide me some documentation. You've been on the lam since 2014.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Don't apologize to me.
It might have been a little before that, but yeah, I have been driving.
Oh, you telling the truth now. That's good.
Yeah, it might be a little before that. I've been driving since I had a segment too. I never got a license, but
Never got a license, and you just keep racking up tickets and keep driving and keep disobeying the law. I mean, when is it gonna stop? Does it stop here?
yeah, it been stopped. That's why I ain't been driving.
It can't be stopped.
No,
You just gotta
no,
continue.
I'm sorry, not the previous, but yes, for about the last year, I ain't been behind a car, none of that.
Okay, all right. So we need to set him a trial date then, because he said last year he hasn't been behind a wheel. So somebody's using his name because they say just got a ticket in April.
In April?
You need your lawyer, sir. Don't even say anymore, because you. It's not. We're gonna wait on Mr. Warwood.
Okay.
I'm glad you got a good lawyer.
I'm sorry.
But don't be sorry to me. Let's see. What just kills me is, first of all, and we're not even talking about Mr. Grigsby per se, but he knows if he fits in this category, is first of all, you don't have a license. People don't have a license, but they still want to speed. They still want to dodge in and out of traffic. They still want to draw attention to themselves and potentially get pulled over, and they don't even have a license.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You should be like driving Miss Daisy. If you didn't have a license, you're trying to get where you want to go.
Correct.
Well, you shouldn't be driving, but. All right. I'm still waiting on your documentation now.
Okay.
Did you keep the truck? Did you keep the truck?
Kick one of them.
Okay.
Wait on the other. All of these. I wonder why these didn't get kicked on the day they came in, back in 2020. I don't know what they can do about this air conditioning.
Yeah.
Why don't they have any air conditioning? All right, Mrs. Green,
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a receipt, 2004 Ford, 2011 Ford insurance. I have a receipt, 2011 Ford insurance. Registration.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Let's call the case. This is City of Detroit versus Alicia Stephanie Green, case numbers SP 1151075, counts 2 and counts 3. Mrs. Green, you have provided the court with documentation of your current insurance and registration, and you paid the related civil infraction of expired plates. So based on those matters, we're going to dismiss both of these cases, providing valid documentation. And,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're very much welcome, ma'am. There's nothing further. You have a great day, ma'am.
You do it. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right, very well. All right, so Mrs. Bradfield, let's give you an opportunity. Well, I don't know who's gonna be the probation officer calling in on this. And you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Gibson. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to speak with the probation officer as well.
Okay. He's
We're
going to
waiting
get
on-
some he went to go get some documentation, so in regards to some of the things he had to do in regards to probation.
Yeah, it said he attended some things I saw. So
Yes,
we're
he-
waiting on Mr. Go ahead.
Okay, he's going to find his folder of his documents right now.
All right, so we're waiting on Mr. Glover. He has a formal hearing. And it's just started. The officer was supposed to be here at 9 a.m. And Mr. Glover might make it. All right, so we're going to be waiting. Bless you. Okay. So, Mr. Grigsby is waiting. What's going on with Mr. Garner? Walking. All right, let's see what Mr. Garner's got going on. Maybe we can handle that. Okay. This is the city of Detroit versus Jermaine Irvin Garner, case number SP 11589-181 and SP 11589-231. Parents for the record, please.
Daphne Bradfield on behalf of Mr. Garner. State your name for the record. Mr. Garner?
You there? You're on mute, sir. Maybe you fell asleep. This Bradfield, he's got a case that was that just went in default 7/6/26/2021. That was the case number I called for the civil infraction of just expired plates. The offer here is to plead responsible to that infraction and dismiss the no insurance misdemeanor. Unless he has some kind of these parking meter matters that are still balanced, that zero balance.
I'm sorry.
He has these improper parking meter violations in his name. He's got no out.
Mr. Jermaine Gardner? Mr. Jermaine Gardner?
Looks like he fell asleep or something.
Must have.
All right, let's pass that matter. Mitchell LeBron, please. Good morning, Mr. Clemens.
Judge, good morning. How are you?
Very well. Is your client here?
He should be getting on shortly. I just I texted him the ID. He had requested it.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. How you doing, Your Honor? How was your weekend? Morning. It was good, Your Honor. Went a little fast, but hey.
Always time flies when you have fun. Right?
That's right, Your Honor. We get a 3-day coming up, so I'll wait a couple weeks.
All right. So, let's call the case. Let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Mitchell Ivory LeBron. Case number SP 1148274, count 1. Had a related civil infraction. Now let me put your appearance on the record, please, counsel.
Your Honor, good morning, and may it please the court. My name is Adam Clemens, P number 77233, appearing on behalf of John in this matter, Mitchell LeBron.
All right. So Let's go to, what's your appearance on the record, please, Council?
Dante Goss on behalf of the city of Detroit, Your Honor.
You gotta text your client and tell him that he needs to activate his audio, connect his audio. All right, so let's start here. This is a case that I was retained on before I got appointed to the bench. I represented Mr. LeBron, and now my former colleague and office partner, Mr. Adam Clements, elected to take this matter over. I will say this for the record. As for the SP 1148274, count 1, driving while license suspended, that matter
Morning.
Good morning. All right, so I won't say that. I will say that on 4/29/2021, Mr. LeBron was in court and well, I will say that on 4/29/2021, Mr. LeBron was in court and he paid a related civil infraction. That was the date set for trial. That went along with the driving while license suspended. I don't know why, and I was his attorney at the time. I don't know why that driving while license suspended is still pending. That should have been resolved on that day. And if I remember correctly, that matter should have been dismissed and Mr. LeBron was entered into the blocking traffic and paid the $175. We have a file here.
My offer.
Let's see. No, there's no offer in here. So that's it as it relates to that matter. As it relates to the 18 matters, now that's the problem. It's got this name under 2 O's instead of 1 O. The court is going to call case number 18-412-254, counts 1 and counts 2 as well. Counselor, Mr. LeBron has 2 matters, those 18 matters, which probably should have been resolved back then, but that's under the last name Legroone. Instead of Mr. LeBron's correct name, spelling of his name is Legroone. That's a operator's no ops ticket, and no valid insurance, and then it has related civil infractions, failure to stop, no registration, and oh, here we go. We have defective equipment. I do have an offer sheet, but this offer sheet is an updated offer sheet. And this offer sheet goes back to June 18th, 2021. And this is the offer to display and dismiss the related civil infraction. However, that was set for, date and time was set for a trial, and that failure to display, that driving while license suspended possibly should have been dismissed, because and I don't see why, if there was no officer or not. I'm just on how the court generally handles these matters. It's led to one, paid the fine, then the other will be dismissed. But I'll leave that up to you and counsel. So we also have the situation where I was a previous attorney for Mr. LeBron, so it's potentially going to be a conflict if both parties would agree that I can, well, I can say I can be fair and impartial, but if there's a request to recuse me, then I'll hear that by either party. I'll also say this for the record, is that Mr. LeBron had civil infraction. Who's that? Mr. LeBron had civil infractions dating back to approximately 2014. In 2016, Mr. LeBron filed for bankruptcy. Those cases were listed on the ROA that he did file for bankruptcy, but the court did not ever relieve him of the financial obligations. I do have on one of the register of actions on 12/6/16, the court was made aware of the bankruptcy, and it has a note, stop collect notice. So let's, did you put your appearance on the record? All right, so counselor, you have, you want to speak? That's basically what's been going on and where we're at to this day. I'll let you speak on behalf of your client.
Your Honor, what I would ask in this particular regard is, of course, that the files that should have been dismissed or should have been closed out, that be done so forthwith. What I would ask is that the pending matters that are still open, that the courts recuse itself and transfer the matters to another judge.
So we're discussing right now, there's a motion to close out the driving while license suspended. That was with the related civil infraction of blocking traffic. I have a payment date. That case was closed on May 17th, 2021. I will let the court know that I ceased being Mr. LeBron's attorney as of May 24th, 2021. So I was the one that would have appeared on this. My name is still on the file. So based on that motion, how do you respond, Counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so based on that motion, we're going to dismiss case number SP1148274, count 1, the driving while license suspended. There is no warrant fee, and there is no related reinstatement fee. So Mr. LeGrone, that case is gonna be dismissed. And, I'm gonna make a note that you paid the related civil infractions.
Thank you.
All right. As for the other cases, Mr. Clements made a motion for me to be on the case based on my involvement and my knowledge of what's going on with Mr. LeBron, as I was his attorney of record and working with him on these matters. Is there any response from, hearing no response from the city? Is there, Mr. Clemens, you gotta educate the court. This is my first time ever recusing myself. I'm sure you've probably been through this before in your long distinguished career. So what do we, well, let me ask now.
They'll draw
okay.
up to administration and they'll assign.
All right, is there any paperwork we need to fill out?
I can form some paperwork, yes. It's for civil, but I've never done it for traffic, but I'm sure it's pretty much the same.
Okay. All right, and you were gonna say, Mr. Clemens?
I was just going to indicate that there's a scout form for the recusal that I normally submit to the court. You can print it right up and just sign it, submit it to administration, and they'll reassign the case.
Can you draft that form up?
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, if you sign that, draft that form up, I'll sign that form if I need to, and I'll submit that form to, well, my clerk will submit that form to administration, and we'll get Mr. LeBron a new attorney, a new judge, sorry. He's got a very good lawyer, Mr. Clemens, so I don't think I don't know. He might want to, I don't think so. I'm the prosecutor. Even the prosecutor says he wouldn't. All right. Anything further, Counselor?
What is your clerk's email address, please?
S Nash, NASH at 36 District. Is that S period? Oh, no, I'm sorry. SONIA period NASH at 36 districtcourt.org.
Okay, thank you. I'll prepare the form.
Okay. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So that case I called is going to be dismissed. That driving while license suspended, and the basis for that dismissal is that was date and time set for a trial, and he paid a related civil infraction. And whatever the case, that's what normal practice in this courtroom is anyway. Is if you paid a related civil infraction, the other misdemeanor will be dismissed. So that's going to be dismissed. If there's nothing further, Mr. Clements or Mr. LeBron, then you guys have a very good day. And Mr. LeBron, you're in very, very good hands.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, have a great one. Okay, let's get Mr. Glover out of here.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Glover, using the system to the fullest extent. All right, this is the city of Detroit versus Marquise John Glover, case number 1623-03671. Appearance for the record, please.
Daphne Bradfield on behalf of Mr. Glover. State your name for the record, sir.
Marquise Jovan Glover.
Okay. Mr. Bradfield, today is the date and time set for a trial in this matter. There was an offer on the table for Mr. Glover to plead to the amended count of operating while intoxicated passenger. That was a 2-point offense misdemeanor. I told him I would fine him $240. However, Mr. Glover elected to go to trial on that. Is
And
there any motion?
the officer has failed to appear. Motion to dismiss, Your Honor.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor. I have an Officer Barr, badge number 2002. I'm hearing no response from Officer Barr. Case was, officer was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock. It's the court's policy to give the officer a half hour leeway. It is now 9:42, so he's had more than a half hour. Well, he was gonna get it dismissed, he didn't check in at a half hour point anyway. But it's 9:42, there's hearing no response from the officer. The case is gonna be dismissed. Mr. Glover, you have, I'll waive the warrant fee, and I'm gonna hold you responsible for the reinstatement fee, sir. That's $45. It doesn't appear that you have anything else pending here. So with that being said, sir, you have a very good day. You don't have any further questions.
$45 to reinstate my license?
Yes.
Okay, no, that'll be all, Your Honor. I appreciate you. You have a great day
Nothing
too.
to say, do you?
No, I
You're
ain't got nothing to say.
All right, let me see if you have, you posted a bond. So you come down to the court and have that bond immediately applied, and the balance of that bond is gonna be returned to you in the mail some kind of way, and make sure they have your correct address and everything. So, or you could pay that $45 at any DivDab kiosk in the city of Detroit, or you can pay that $45 online. And once you do that, it'll close the case out, and then it will generate, that bond will be generated back to you. But it's gonna go back to the Myers address.
Okay, we still have that address. So I just go down, to the courthouse and pay the remaining $45?
You can do it one of three ways. You can come here, and if you come down here, you can just ask them to immediately apply that bond. And then the remainder will be mailed back to you. If you want to pay it on the kiosk, at any DivDab kiosk, or if you want to pay it in the 36districtcourt.org website, you can do it either way, sir. All right, you have any further questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, very well. Have a great day, sir.
You have a great day too. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're here from Mr. Jason.
Gibson. Yes.
Okay, let's call base first. I got Mr. Green. I have you checked in, Mr. Green. Mrs. Green, Jetta Green. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes.
I don't see your name on the docket. I can say that all of your cases seem to be closed out.
Yes, I was told to call and see if I can get my suspension lifted off my license, because I have to go to work and also drop my children off. So I wasn't able to reinstate my license when I went. And they told me to see if it would get lifted.
I don't see why you would have a suspension on your license, to be honest with you. It seems like, do you have a particular case number, ma'am? Because it seems like all of your cases are closed unless you have something under a different name.
No, they said that by me having that ticket with driving without a license, that I had a 30-day suspension that would be posted September the 2nd.
Okay. So you're talking about, I see what you mean. September 2nd, so this is a situation where it's unfortunate. You entered into, all right, let's call this case. This is the case of Jetta Benet Green, case number SP 103-67593. Mrs. Green, I see that you led on 8/16/2021 to failure to display a valid operator's license.
Yes.
And that case is closed. It seems like you made your obligation of paying the fines, the cost in that matter. That matter would have generated another 30-day suspension. The other cases were dismissed. The related cases were dismissed. Mrs. Bradfield, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Daphne Bradfield on behalf of Ms. Green.
Okay, and Ms. Bradfield, is there something you can do to help Mrs. Green? With my understanding, Mrs. Green wants to withdraw her guilty plea and try to enter into another agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. May I have the case number, please?
Case number is SP 103-67593. It does seem as though Mrs. Green has met her obligation. She owes the court no money, and with that guilty plea she entered into for the failure to display, it would have generated another 30-day suspension on plea. So that was entered into on last Monday.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to see if this possible I would like to ask that her plea be this time, and if possible, the charge could be amended to allow an unlicensed driver to drive.
No registration anymore. Put your appearance on the record, please. All right, Mr. Goss, you heard the conversation that in the motion that Counselor has made on Mrs. Green's behalf. Mrs. Green has put on the record that she attempted to go to the Secretary of State and get her driver's license. She's paid her obligation. She entered into that obligation on August 16th. And as the court and all the lawyers in the room know that once you enter that failure to display is going to automatically generate another 30-day suspension. She indicated to the court that she will not be eligible for a license sometime in September. She also indicated to the court that she has a license because she has some young kids that she needs to take care of and she needs to get to work. So based on that, what's your response? And you print up a copy of Mrs. Green's driving record, please.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Do me a favor, while you're not speaking to the judge, please mute your line so I can be able to hear what's going on in the courtroom. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's pass that matter. Well, let's finish that because I imagine we're gonna have a lot of conversation about Mr. Gibson, probation officer is here.
Who's the probation officer, Your Honor? Mr. Grigsby, please mute your line.
They getting on the line.
Well, we'll just give her in proper place. Huh?
They getting on these type of deals, so.
So then what are they, I know what's. All right, we're back on the record with Mrs. Jetta Danae Green. Mrs. Green, where are you?
Yes.
Mrs. Green, I can't see you.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mrs. Green, how many kids do you have, ma'am?
I have two.
And where are you working?
I just picked up a job at American Mining.
Pardon me?
I'm also a hairstylist part-time, so.
All right, can you sit down and give us your undivided attention?
I can't hear you.
Can you sit or be still and give us your undivided attention, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Your attorney has made a motion to allow you to set aside the guilty plea you introduced last week and relitigate this matter. I don't hear. Go ahead.
Dr. Dawson, if I can send you Trey Brown, I have no objection to the motion this the attorney back. I reviewed Mr. Green's driving record. It's long, but there's nothing too egregious on there other than she continued to drive without a driver's license. So I'm willing to give her an opportunity to get a driver's license. So hopefully we won't have any more issues with Mr. Green valid operations.
All right, and I'm in possession of the driving record as well, ma'am. And the court, really realizes that a lot of this stems from the insurance companies. You started out, how old are you, ma'am? You're 30 years old?
Yes.
You started out with some issues like about 8 years ago with running stop signs and disobeying traffic signals and things like that. But, in the more recent history, it just seems like you're driving while licensed or failure to display a valid driver's license and driving without insurance. And the court recognizes that the cost of insurance is astronomical, but you just gotta have it. It's all it is to it. And if you don't, you get those tickets, and if you don't come to court, especially, then those tickets get abstracted on your driving record. If you come to court, a lot of times the court will be able to work with you in a lot of those situations, and either give you time to pay the ticket, or even sometimes the cases get dismissed altogether. But you have to do your due diligence and make sure that when you get those tickets, the tickets are taken care of. And then if you get those tickets, hopefully you don't get any more. But based on the fact that the court recognizes that you are doing your due diligence right now, you have attempted to go get a driver's license, and the driver's license is your license is suspended. I'm gonna and hearing no objection from the city attorney regarding that set aside the guilty plea, I'm going to grant your attorney's motion to set aside the guilty plea. And we're going to enter into a new plea, which would be allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. That is going to be taken under a 3-month delayed sentence. It's going to be dismissed immediately upon payment. So basically, ma'am, the case is going to be dismissed, and you give it a couple of days for that to enter into the system of Secretary of State, and you should be able to go back probably by the 2 or 3 days, or maybe tomorrow, to the Secretary of State to get another, to get your driver's license. And that's the only thing that's holding you up is there at 36th District Court. So with that being said, ma'am, the motion's going to be granted, and you're going to have that opportunity to go back there. At least you won't have to deal with this suspension that has been generated. Do you have that?
Your Honor, I do want to say for the record, just in case she's met with some, just in case Secretary of State does not honor it, because there are times Secretary of State will put the new charge in and kick the other one out, but there are also times they may not. So I just want her to know the court has done all it can to help her in this situation, but it does not mean that Secretary of State will honor it.
Okay. And Ms. Nash, is there a way that we can get that to the Secretary of State?
I can shoot an email to our department downstairs to do updates in the, your abstract in the.
I have that ROA printed out. I have the ROA printed out.
You already have it printed?
Yeah, for SP 103-67593. It should have come through already. That's Jetta Green.
Oh, okay, I have it, Aaron.
All right, I want to write on that, the notes on there.
Okay, Aaron.
In order to, that is. So do you understand what the attorney has said, ma'am?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so this case is going to be dismissed, ma'am. You paid the payment. But you know, we've done what we can do here. We're going to go and send an email downstairs to the people who put this into the Secretary of State, and hopefully that works for you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so much welcome, and good luck to you, ma'am, and take care of those babies, and good luck on that new job, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, that's all. I was gonna order that as well, but since you've already registered to vote, then you're free to leave, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, great day. Okay. Now, let's go back on the record for Mr. Christian Gibson. Now, Mrs. Bradfield, I have
Officer Bumpus.
Bumpus. I have Officer Bumpus here that has Mr. Gibson's file. I don't know if you want to speak with Officer Bumpus in a breakout room or if you want to handle all of this on the record. I know that Mr. Gibson was supposed to get you some documentation as it related to his case, and I do have Officer Bumpus here. So why don't we start by putting your appearance on the record, Officer?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Lori Bumpus on behalf of the probation department. Your Honor, I was not the supervising probation officer in this case. We did look for the file information. However, we don't have the probation file in this case, but I can go off of the register of actions, and also looking at the Secretary of State record, I can give you some information.
Please do.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a 2007 case. He was sentenced to probation on November 16th of 2009. At that time, he was ordered to complete the Victims Impact Panel, attend AA 1 time a week, attend alcohol highway safety education, attend outpatient treatment, and pay assessed fines and costs as ordered by the court. He was also to submit to drug screening. The ROA indicates that there was a probation violation hearing held in this case, and that was on April the 4th of 2018. At that time, the defendant was sentenced to 20 days in Wayne County Jail, work release. 73 days was held in the Bays at that time. He was scheduled to report to jail on April 9th of 2018. And it appears that he failed to report, and a habeas was issued again in this case on April 24th of 2018. Your Honor, he does not owe any fines and costs in this case. He does not have any other outstanding tickets at our court. I did look over the Secretary of State record, and it did indicate that he did pick up a new case. That was in East Point, and he was convicted in that case on October the 12th of 2011. That could have been what the probation violation was about in April of 2018.
Now, is this I'm sorry to interrupt, Officer. Is this a drunk driving case as well?
Yes, correct, Your Honor. That he was convicted of operating while impaired by liquor. But as stated, that could have been what the violation was about, in April of 2018. Unfortunately, as stated, I don't have a probation file, so I'm not able to expand on that. So we don't have any proof of him complying with the other conditions, Your Honor. I don't know if he did or not.
Okay, very well. So, Mrs. Bradfield, you've had an opportunity to hear Officer Bumpus' resuscitation of the facts that as she knows them. I'll give you an opportunity to respond.
Good morning, Ms. Bumpus.
Good morning, Attorney Bradfield.
I did speak with my client. He indicated that on April 9th, he was escorted to the cashier window. He paid approximately $4,000. I did tell him on that date, $553.60 was applied to this case. Knowing Judge Giles' methods, more than likely the rest of that money probably went on civil infractions that he was told to pay during that time. I don't know if that's why the judge had indicated that on the 9th he was to go to jail. I don't know if that is to go to jail unless he made that payment, but he did. And I do see that a payment was made on April 9th. A client indicated he did complete some of the orders of the court. He was supposed to find paperwork. Mr. Gibson, did you find any?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you have?
I have my AA meeting logins to show that I was attending AA meetings that date all the way back to, on this paper is the 2013. I have my 9-panel drug screen. I have my written letters from people, saying that because I had to have like 8 written letters or something from people that I know. This is my drug screen, a receipt for outpatient therapy. They even sent me to see a therapist, I believe, Dr. Hollins. Those are just what I can find. Those are just what I can find. It's papers. Excuse me.
Let me say, okay, the court has heard that you have those documentations, and you gave a date at least back to 2013, at least you say, for your AA meetings. So what it tells me, and what I'm inclined to take from that, is that you were probably sentenced to AA in the East Point matter. When was the East Point matter? On 2011, you said that case was entered into?
Yes, Your Honor, October 12, 2011.
So it appears that you have, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is this the stuff that you have from the East Point case, sir?
It's from both, because I've like I said, I was going for this. When this infraction took place, I was working at DTE and I was a CDL holder. So I was handling everything that was supposed to be handled. I ended up losing my job at DTE because of the DUI. And that kind of took everything into a spiral. Once I lost my job, that was a 6-figure job, lost my house, car, everything. So like I said, I was doing it, then I totally messed up. I make no excuse for that. But I was going to whatever I had to go to. This is just one paper I found. Like I said, that was over 10 years ago, sir. So some of the papers have been misplaced.
Okay, Counselor, I don't believe that. So I'm gonna allow you to speak. Basically, what I have is I have a situation where Mr. Gibson is here today. He has, I can see that he was back on 11/16 of 09. He was ordered to attend the VICE program. He was ordered to attend the Victims Impact Panel. He was ordered to attend Alcohol Anonymous or NA meetings at least once per week. He indicates that he has some logs from 2013, that he's done that. I don't know how far or how many times that he's done that. I would submit to him to get you that information. He was ordered to attend and complete alcohol highway safety education. There was also the standard of shall not use or possess any illegal substances, attend any outpatient within 60 days, submit to drug urinalysis, shall not consume any alcoholic beverages. So what we do know is that this was ordered 2009, that at the very least, one of those was violated in the shall not consume any alcoholic beverages, because Mr. Gibson was convicted at or around 2011 sometime at East Point, based on Officer Bumpus's knowledge that he had another drunk driving case. He's indicated that he does have some documentation from 2013. The court hasn't seen any of that. So that's where we're at right now. I'll allow you, Mrs. Bradfield, to speak.
Actually, I'm gonna ask him to send me his documentation if he can, before I speak on this matter, Your Honor, so I can have a full picture of what he has.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Gibson, are you working now, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I sent you, pardon me?
I do want to say too, he has custody of his 13-year-old son. He's had custody during this case. He had custody of 2 children. One is now an adult, but he still have custody of his 13. He has 3 children in total. 2 he had custody of while he was going through this case, and like I said, the youngest one is still a minor.
Okay. And let me ask you this other question, sir. If I was going to test you today, what would the results be?
I don't even do anything. My results would be fine. I don't do anything anymore.
All right. You don't drink anymore, sir?
Oh no, that ruined my life. That ruined my life. That second DUI, I'm the definition of don't drink and drive. I lost everything. That's how I have custody of my sons. Because
talking about drinking, period. Do you still drink or not, sir?
Oh no, I don't do anything. I'm working out all the time. I work midnights. I work a 12-hour shift 5 days a week. I work out every morning. I'm not into anything.
What do you propose, Mrs. Bradfield?
To close this matter out without improvement. He did pay all fines and costs. I will say that. He's paid almost a total of $900 in this matter. He has a 0 balance.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we, before we take that leap, why don't we get Mr. Gibson an opportunity to get you those documentations that he has. My concern is this, and this is not to try to jam your client up at all, but my concern is this. I think that the alcohol highway safety classes and things of that nature are very important, and I would like to see. I don't know if that class was ordered in East Point or not. Were you ordered to take that class at East Point, sir?
Yes, I completed everything. All the classes I had to take for Detroit, I also had to do for East Point, and I completed them all. That's why the East Point case is closed.
Are you saying that those classes you completed them twice?
Well, I did some for Detroit, not all, but some, and I did everything for East Point, if that makes sense to you. So I was doing,
Yeah,
I was in the process.
That's just like everybody else. They get the stuff out in the suburbs done, and then they just forget Detroit. You know, they're not gonna do nothing, right, Ms. Bumpers?
No, sir.
That's how they
No,
play
sir.
that game. It's just like when they go in and they can speed and rip and run through the city and endanger their own residents. But as soon as they hit 8 Mile, then they slow down and 10-2 on the steering wheel and everything.
No,
right?
sir. No, sir. No, sir. I respect Detroit as well as East Point. I
can't tell you. You didn't complete all the Detroit stuff by your own admission, but you completed all of East stuff, point stuff.
I was a young.
That's your own admission.
I was a young knucklehead. This is a new me, sir. This is over 10 years old.
All right. So what we'll do is, Mrs. Bradfield, let's see if we can get that information from Mr. Gibson. I understand that you're not going to be here this afternoon. Let's try and get that sooner rather than later to Mrs. Bradfield, sir. You guys can go in a breakout room again, and she can tell you what I'm looking for, and then we will get that information, and I'll consider it at that time. But Ms. Bradfield, you know, I do see that he's paid money. I don't know about the $4,000. I don't see that. But I see that he's paid at least $898 toward this matter. So like you said, the other $4,000 is probably something that either he's lying or he paid toward some other matters that he had at the time. So, and you know, it's still that 93 days on the table. I don't understand how that was, you know, I'll agree with Ms. Bradfield. I don't understand how Judge Giles lets you go. Well, I don't even know if Judge Giles lets you go on that 93 days because it was entered into in, what was that, April? Correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Bumpus?
That's correct, April the 4th of 2018.
Of 2018, and then there was a subsequent warrant after that. So, do we know what happened at the other warrant here?
Can I speak, sir?
I think you better let your attorney speak for you.
Please don't.
All right, we're gonna pass this matter one more time. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to speak one more time. That's where the court is, but I definitely want to see some information regarding you in those classes. All right, so join that breakout room again with Mrs. Bradfield, and she can ask all the necessary questions. All right. Thank you. I think if you don't have anything further, Ms. Bumpers, you're free to leave.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Good to
Nice
see
seeing
you.
you.
My pleasure. Okay, who do we have here? We got Mr. Devin Green, who needs to connect his audio, and Mr. Garner. Are you still there, Mr. Garner? We called your name a number of times before.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm here.
Let's see your video, sir.
1 second.
Are you driving, sir?
Yeah, I was at work. I was I do landscaping, so I'm just gonna pull over.
Please do.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, this is the city of Detroit versus Jermaine Irvin Gardner, case number SP 115891881 SP 1158923. Mr. Gardner, you got a no insurance misdemeanor and an expired plate. Do you have any documentation related to those matters?
Not at this time, sir. No, I don't. I'm currently not even driving that vehicle anymore.
The offer today is to plead to the expired plate. That's going to be a $145 fine, sir, and dismiss the other matter. That's a 0-point offense. That does not abstract to the Secretary of State, and that will clear this matter up. Is that something you want to enter into, or you definitely have a right to a trial in the matter?
Yeah, I would like to pay the $145.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, can you raise your right hand, please?
Yeah.
Are you still driving, sir?
No, I was just waiting for my bosses. He wondering why I stopped.
All right. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir. Sir, this is a matter of an expired plate, really, essentially what I gave you the offer off the record that was, I gave the offer on the record. That was expired plate and dismissed the no insurance misdemeanor. Sir, you understand you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give that trial right up?
You said, do I understand why it's taking so long? I'm sorry.
No, do you understand? Are you still driving, sir?
No, sir.
It looks as though you're driving.
No, sir. I'm just trying to let him know that I'm talking. I'm just trying to let him know that I'm talking to you. He keeps trying to wave me up. I'm just trying to let him know I'm on the phone on the Zoom call. He knows I'm on, but I don't understand why he's not. I'm on my Zoom. Sorry about that.
So, okay, sir, we'll get you out of here soon. And sir, you understand that you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give up that trial right?
Yes.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what's been stated in the records?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what's been stated in the record?
No, sir.
All right. Sir, I'm going to draw your attention back to January 28, 2021 at around 11:41 a.m. in the city of Detroit, the area of Woodward and Kirby, sir. Were you operating a 2004 Dodge on that day, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you get pulled over by the Detroit Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And was there something wrong with the plates on that vehicle, sir?
Yes, sir. I believe they were expired at the time. I'm the only one worked in my family. I'm married with 8 kids, so it was only a one-day thing. I had to use the van to get to work.
I'm going to accept your responsible plea to the expired plates. I'm going to fine you $145. I'm going to dismiss the other matter, sir. When can you pay?
What's today?
Today is
I get paid next week, Thursday.
Next week, Thursday.
Yeah, I get paid every other week. I just got paid this past week.
I'm going to give you to the September 7th. Is that good enough, sir?
Yes, sir. That's good enough.
Pay by September 7th, 2021, $145. If there's nothing further, sir, have a great day.
You too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Mr. Warbling.
Good morning. I apologize for being late, Judge.
I'm sorry. Well, your client is coming to court, no shirt on. He's coming now. He's sleeping. I kicked him out of the breakout room because he's snoring on the Zoom call. So he never signed back on. But
okay,
you know,
I just called him, but he did not pick up. I will.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
I apologize, Judge. Well, I will. I guess there's nothing I can do at this point. I'm sorry for that type of disturbance. I guess I'll be in contact with your staff at a later date.
If you want a new date.
Oh, that would be great, Judge. I appreciate the accommodation. and the courtesies.
Tell him don't come correct next time, because
I don't know what he was thinking, Your Honor.
I know what he's thinking. I look at his record, you can tell what he's thinking. And he seemed to be an all right guy, but I mean, we're just not gonna stand for all that.
I understand, Judge.
Let's call the cases. This is the City of Detroit versus Kenyon Jermaine Grigsby. Case numbers SP 1189727. SP 216038, count 1 and count 2. This one's in warrant status Z8054821. We also have 105-83852. Strike that. 105-83858, count 2. We have 15-436-1121, and we have, this one's in warrant status as well, 18-451-4031, and 18-490-4031. Appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889, on behalf of Mr. Grigsby.
And then we have also why this one wasn't called, I don't know. I thought we called that. We did. We called it. Yes.
Sorry.
That's all right. All right. So, Mr. Warbling, your client was here earlier today. For the record, he comes into court with no shirt on, and then he's sitting there and apparently fell asleep because he was snoring. And I can say, I don't know if it was him snoring because he turned his video off, but as soon as it was definitely coming from his device. And as soon as I kicked him out of the room, the snoring stopped. And so now he's not here, but what we'll do is give you an opportunity to get another date for your client. I can say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see how many cases I call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matters pending. I'll recall the warrant, and I will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf for the ones that are in warrant status, and I'll set a $0 bond on all the cases. So I have a resolution for 7 of the cases. He'll just plead to three misdemeanors, and we'll dismiss all the other cases. So that's the offer as it stands now in the file. I will also say that he has a number of civil infractions that have just gone unpaid, and he has even more reinstatement fees that he has to pay. So he's got a little ways to go in getting a driver's license, but he's got he did one smart thing is he hired a very good lawyer to help these matters. So what I'll do is, do you have a date in mind, or you want the next pretrial date, or what? The
Next pretrial date would be fine, Your Honor.
It's all the way until December 17, 2021. Okay. If we push it back that far, then your client's going to have to come up and have some money and everything on that day and be ready to get some of this stuff closed out.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and if there's something that you need if it's something that you need and you find a resolution sooner than that, then you know how to get in touch with my staff.
Very good. I appreciate those courtesies, Your Honor, and I apologize for what took place.
You don't need to apologize for him, sir. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We have December 17th at 8:30 a.m. for a pre-trial date.
Thank you, Your Honor. You and your staff be well.
Are you as well? Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Green. Good
How you
morning
doing,
to you.
bro?
Okay, are you Darren Green?
Darian, yes, sir.
Darian?
Darian.
Okay, so let's call the cases. This is the City of Detroit versus Devin Darian Green, case number SP 1070584, counts 1 and counts 2. So, Mr. Green, do you have current insurance and let's see what this over is. Drove while license not valid or improper license construction zone. I don't understand that. So, do you have a valid driver's license, sir?
No, sir. It's suspended right now.
But
I do have a valid insurance.
All right. Can you provide that insurance? Here's the offer anyway, even with, I can't see that. Even with insurance, I don't know, and I'll let you give an opportunity to speak with the council. But the offer here is plea to failure to display a valid driver's license and the amended count and dismiss the no insurance. Why don't we wait until the city attorney comes back in so that if she needs to speak with you or she needs to speak with, I'm sorry, why don't we wait until the House Counsel, Ms. Bradfield, comes back in and if she needs to speak with you or the city attorney regarding the matter, then she can do that. In the meantime, I would ask that you send those documents. All right, you need to get to felony court today as well.
You say that again?
It said you sent a message you need to be in felony court today.
I was looking for, I was on the phone the whole time that I was in here with trying to get in touch with the 36th district to see if this was the right room. But then when I looked on my case file, it said you was the room I was supposed to be in.
Here's you got to take this information down, sir. You have a case in front of Judge Kenneth King in courtroom 134 at 10:30 on Wednesday, August 25th.
You said 134?
Yeah, so is that Kenneth King is in one there? Is that listed on there? Is there a Zoom? Was that 360-134-0000?
It's 438. 438.
438. It says here.
Did they arraign him downstairs?
It says he's scheduled for arraignment at 8/25/2021, courtroom 10:30 a.m. courtroom 134.
Okay, he's being arraigned then down there. He must have got picked up or something.
Yeah, he's got a charge here.
Oh yes, okay, yes, that's correct then, Your Honor.
So he just dials in 360-134-0000.
Yes, but let me double check before I say yes to that.
All right, we're going to get you the proper courtroom for that, so that you don't miss that date. But just keep in mind, you're supposed to be in court at 8
on the 25th. Yeah, I know.
10:30. So do you have that information?
For the
Zoom?
yes.
Oh, you have that information?
No, you just gave it to me. I just copied it down. I just wrote it down.
All right, let me do this. You can send me a copy of your insurance that you have in the meantime. And as soon as, as soon as Attorney Bradfield gets out of that Zoom hearing with, the other gentleman, then we'll let you speak to her. So let's give me that information and then we'll go from there, all right? You got my Zoom, my email address, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And let's pull his driver's license as well.
And that is the right ID number, the 134 number.
Yeah, that 360. Yeah, 360-134-0000 is the right ID number.
All right, I got it wrote down. I have it wrote down.
Very well.
Now, your email.
I sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
I'll resend it.
I see it. It's .org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Olivia lost Jimmy. Olivia lost.
No. What did you ask for? No.
It's sent.
Okay. All right.
We are for the time. Did see some documentation.
All right, let's go back on the, let's pass Mr. Green's matter, and let's go back on the record with Mr. Gibson, Christian Gibson. I've given an opportunity for Ms. Bradfield to speak with Mr. Gibson in the breakout room regarding the matter. So what do you have, Ms. Bradfield?
Okay, Mr. Gibson did provide summary of some documentation from the Center of Behavioral Therapy in Redford that he not only did a treatment plan, but he successfully completed it.
What date was that?
This was May 13th, 2013.
Okay.
I think that at the time his plan date was January 15, 2013, and the summary saying that he completed successfully was May 13, 2013. So approximately 4 months. And he also provided some proof of lab results that were negative. This date was back, let me see. May 2014. He also provided AANA signatures from February 2013 through April 6, 2014. And let me see what else is on here. Oh, and he also, give me a second, it was a second email. Give me just one moment, Your Honor. And then he also provided some on Eastwood Clinic letterhead. There was a letter saying that he was enrolled in the intensive outpatient treatment program. The only thing is not dated, so I don't know the date of this. This is not dated, but it's signed by a Gwendolyn Bammel.
Do we know if that place exists?
Eastwood Clinic does exist. It's in St. John Providence. It's on the letterhead though. And I mean, she did leave a phone number. If they had any questions to call her.
All right. And is that what the sum and substance of what he's provided?
Yes, and he had some other letters as well that was notarized. I guess character letters.
Well, let's say this. When are those letters dated?
2013, November 7, 2013.
Yeah, I mean, everything supports that Mr. Gibson takes care of East Point. What was it, Judge Jeers at that time? He got him all of his documents, but he said, forget the 36 District Court. So Mrs. Bradfield, as an officer of the court, I'm going to accept that you have received those documents and that those documents are what you say they are. And you did indicate your proposed resolution. If you can mention that again for the court.
I'm requesting, since he did pay fines and costs in full, even though the court is under impression that these matters that was resolved as far as his documentation was due to the East Point case, I would like to state that even though it may have been for the East Point case, not 100% certainty, but if it was for the East Point case, he still was on probation with 36th District Court at the time. So I'm asking that the court accepts them as proof as well for his 36th District Court probation conditions. And Mr. Gibson also has been employed for the past 4.5 years, consistent employment. He also just started a expediting business with his son. He's also a single parent of a minor child. He's doing well. He seemed to have his head on straight, and we would like to ask the court close his matter out without improvement.
All right. So, you have any response, Counselor? No. Here's what I'm going to do, sir. I appreciate the fact that it seems like you learned a hard lesson as it relates to this matter, or these matters. It took you at least 2 drunk drivings, and I don't know what else in between for you to come to grips that A, you had a problem, and B, the problem caused you, almost, it did cause you your livelihood at the time. I can respect the fact that you didn't allow that to stop what you're doing now, and that you appear to be back on stable footing. You're here today. I can appreciate that. And too, you got a very good lawyer, so I'll wait to hear some of the responses from how the lawyers respond to different matters. And while I don't want a defendants because of bad lawyering be exposed to something I would do if the lawyer, whether the lawyer is good or bad. I respect the fact that this lawyer of yours today really covers all of her bases. So she's made a motion to close the matter out without improvement. But what I'm going to do, sir, is I'm not going to do that. What I will do is I'll close the matter out after you give the court 40 hours worth of community service. I think that's a very easy task for somebody like you. And quite frankly, I wanted to do a lot more than that. But I think that we all need to put back into our community. I think you're very able to do so. If I get that 40 hours, we'll close it out with improvement. But I think, and like I say, I kind of sometimes, when people don't take Detroit seriously and they take other jurisdictions more seriously, then it kind of bothers me a little bit. But what I will say is that it appears that at this time in your life, you fought this case and then you followed up with another case, the same thing. That I'll take it that I'll chalk it up to youthful indiscretion. But I think that now that you're stable, it will show you, it will give back something to the community, and it'll show your son too. Quite frankly, I don't know if you guys participate in any community service on your own, but it will teach a good lesson to your son. So I'm going to order you to do 40 hours of community service. I'm going to give you Mrs. Green. She's our community service manager. I'm going to, you have an ink pen, sir?
Yeah, 1 second, please. Give me that ink pen, baby. Oh, yes, I'm ready.
All right, that number is 313-965-3414.
Miss Green?
Yeah, you get in touch with Mrs. Green. We're going to write up a referral for you so that she knows you're coming. And we're going to go from there. You give me that information and we'll close this matter out. But if you're not doing community service on your own, sir, hopefully this is a start of something that you can do to give back to the community, especially paying your debt to society here in the city of Detroit. And you get that, the sooner you get that done, the sooner we'll have you back. Let's just say we'll have him back. Let's give you 30 days to do that. 9/22/2021 at 8:30 a.m. We'll schedule this for a review. And I think that's more than enough time to get 40 hours of community service done. Anything further, Ms. Bradfield?
No, Your Honor.
Are you registered to vote, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So with that being said, that'll conclude the matter. And I will see you back on September 22nd at 8:30 a.m., sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
Mr. Gibson, when you come
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Green, ask for more than one location. Just in case you have an issue with one location completing your hours, you have a backup location, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. All right. If there's nothing further, Mr. Gibson, have a great day. And I will see you back on September 22nd at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
All right, have a great one.
Yep. Have a good day.
So this is, lastly, we have Mr. Green here. I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mrs. Bradfield. Just give her the information that you have. This, we'll recall the case of Mr. Devin Green. Mr. Green has just 2 charges of misdemeanor, no insurance, and license. Drove while license not valid or improper in licensed construction zone. I don't know what that means. Those are the 2 charges. There are 2 misdemeanors. There's an offer here in the file to plead to the amended count of failure to display and dismiss the other count.
Okay, is it possible for me to get a copy of that ticket, Your Honor, so I can see what the actual count one is? Because I've never heard of that.
Okay, I can give you what's on the ticket. I can give you the code. That's ordinance 46-3-1. I can send you.
Okay. Does it have a statute down lower?
No, it just has that's the ordinance violation number. Or that's the city ticket, so 46-3-1. Let me look in my, let's see. Let me see if I have it here. 46. No, the other book should be upstairs. I would like to find out what that is as well. Maybe you can look it up on the computer. I'm gonna have Mrs. Nash send you over that information and his driving record as well. I don't know where he's at with getting a driver's license, but that failure to display is going to trigger an automatic 30-day suspension. If he wants to take the deal, he can take the deal and get it over with. But I'll let him decide, and you guys have a conversation and let me know what you want to do.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Join that room, sir.
Yes, yeah. In the office.
The actual ticket.
In the actual ticket.
I didn't receive the ticket yet.
Yeah, she sent the ticket, Ms. Bradfield. I guess it's on its way.
Okay. I was just saying it might not have went through, that's all. Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Bradfield.
Is Mr. Goff still in the room?
He's here.
Okay. The Muni Code, ordinance is the adopting, ordinance for the Michigan Vehicle Code. it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's for the 500 and not the 200. Is that correct?
Say that again, Ms. Bradfield?
The adopting code from the City of Detroit Muni Code 46-3-1.
Yes.
Is that for the 500 series from the vehicle code and not the 200 series?
It's for all of them that the officer writes it under that code.
But
if they write,
for
if they
500,
write,
500, am I correct?
no, it's for both. No, since they write it under that code.
Since when did that change?
As far as I know, that's the way, you know.
Because I've always thought it was the 500 series. The 500 statutes.
What ticket number? What are you referring to?
We're talking about Mr. Devin Green. Your appearance on the record, Council.
Dante Goss, we have the City of Detroit.
All right, so we have Mr. Devin Green, who's been charged with 2 counts, 1 count of driving while license not valid or improper, and it says license, I'm thinking this is license, LICCON zone, I'm thinking license construction zone, and then a no insurance misdemeanor that's under the 500.3101. The other driving while license not valid is under 46-3-1.
Right. Well, yeah, they put it under the community code.
Okay.
So that's the officers put it under the correct code.
It's always been my understanding, unless something changed recently, that only applies to the 500 series.
And what do you mean by that? Educate me on what you're talking about, Ms. Bradfield.
That allows them to handle matters under the vehicle code for any of the Michigan compiled laws, starting with 500.
It allows the city to handle the matter?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I don't even know what, okay, so.
All right, and we're saying all that to say what? What action are you attempting to do?
Well, if this is under 257, like I say, I need clarification unless something has changed, that it also applies to the 257, Michigan compiled laws 257, because if not, then this is defective upon on its face. Count 1 is.
Okay. Now, your response, Councilor?
I believe that the statute is 46- what again?
46-3-1.
It's encompasses. It says it encompasses the vehicle code, so it doesn't specifically say just 500. It says the vehicle code. So that is the.
And that statute does not apply to a construction zone, so I have no idea why it's written up as a construction zone. I looked that statute up.
Okay. So,
You're 46-3-1 from the Muni Code states, in accordance with Section 3K of the Michigan Home Rule City Act, being MCL 117.3, subsection K, Michigan Vehicle Code being MCL 257.1 through 257.923, as subsequently amended, is hereby adopted and incorporated by reference to the code as it's fully set out. So it does encompass 257.
it does encompass 257, but I don't think that now there's a different issue that Ms. Bradfield has brought up. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, is that she's suggesting that the ticket is defective because that particular code has nothing to do with the driving in the construction zone.
Your Honor, this code goes through 922 additional violations. So we have to go through, and do it.
Where did you get that website from?
It's under municode.com.
Unicode.com, and I just put in the 46 dash.
No, you have to go. Then you have to go to library.
I see that, Mr. Goss, but what I'm also saying is that 257. Give me just 1 second. Look at the ticket number again. 257-.301. That does not pertain to a construction zone. However, the client was written a ticket for construction zone, being a construction zone. So it's the wrong statute, no matter how you look at it.
Well, we can't say if this on the basis is not valid or not, because we don't know if Fink on the Schaefer was their construction zone at the time.
It wasn't.
Statute does not apply to the charge. That's what I'm saying. The statute that the officer wrote down does not apply to the charge he's written up for.
The charge is driving while license not valid or improper, and the license in the construction zone.
Correct.
Correct, but we don't know if there was construction zone at the time.
If we do not know the construction zone at the time, the statute applies to, the statute does not apply to construction zone.
Mr. Green, don't interrupt.
46-3 that adopts the entire vehicle code.
Okay, I'm not on that anymore, Mr. Goss. I'm stating the statute, Michigan Compiled Laws 257.301 is not the statute for the construction zone. So if you're going to adopt that statute, it has to still be the right statute that is written under.
Mr. Alfred Griffin, that's supposed to be in front of Judge Bryant. And he kept saying he's not able to call him. He's got all the numbers in his.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Goss?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He got frustrated. I think he got mad. So he's supposed to be in front of Judge Bryant. He said he was talking to the lady. What is her name? Is her name is Robert? That's who we appointed to defense attorney Roberts. I was trying to give me information. And for some reason, I guess.
So in order to do a plea, he would have to be guilty of the underlying offense, and the underlying offense, the statute that he wrote up is the incorrect statute. So it would be defective on face if it's the incorrect statute.
But actually, subsection 1 says that you must provide, an individual shall not drive a motor vehicle without a valid operator's or chauffeur's license.
However, the charge is in a construction zone.
But it's drove while it's not valid, or improper license. It says or.
It probably says or improper license, but what I think counsel is saying that it doesn't matter if she's not contesting whether it's driving while license suspended or driving improper. She's contesting that it doesn't say or construction zone.
Yes, it says driving while license not valid or improper license construction zone. So it's or.
No. I don't know how it's, but what I would take that as is driving while license not valid or driving improper and in a construction zone. Either you're driving, right, either or. Well, either you're driving while license not valid, or you're driving while license, but the construction zone is the one that's the constant, right?
No.
Correct. The construction zone, it really is driving while license not valid in a construction zone or driving while license improper in a construction zone.
Right. And I cannot dismiss this. We can set it for trial so the officer can testify if it was in a construction zone at the time or not.
Okay.
No, what I'm stating is the statute is wrong. If he's being charged with being in a construction zone, even if he was in a construction zone, I'm not arguing the fact is if he was in a construction zone or not in a construction zone. My argument is the statute that he was written under is the improper statute. So it's defective on face. If he's going to write a ticket for driving without a valid license or improper license in a construction zone, then it has to be the right charge that go along with it. The charge he wrote about for is just driving while license not valid. He's charging him with being in a construction zone while he was doing it. So the statute that he wrote him under is an invalid statute. Let's say not invalid statute. Is not the right statute for the charge he's being charged with, which makes it defective upon face.
And I'm arguing that it's not defective because it says or driving license suspended or license under. But the statute also says that an individual shall not drive a motor vehicle on the highway in the state unless the individual has a valid operator's or chauffeur's license. So the statute still applies. It's subsection 1 says that.
No. See, let's say construction zone is not there. On all the tickets we've ever seen, they have driving while license not valid or improper license. We see that all the time. Okay. Right. So here, when you put the construction zone in, he's saying he's either was driving while license not valid in a construction zone or driving an improper license with an improper license in a construction zone. So my thing is, if he charged that this took place in a construction zone, then the right statute needs to be written there. It is not, so it makes it defective upon face.
And my argument is with the or. So the or says, I'm interpreting it as either or. It's not.
Well, I understand, and I'm going to interpret as either you're driving in a construction zone with your license not valid, or you're driving in a construction zone with your license improper. Because because we see all the time driving while license not valid or driving while license improper. I think that the driving in construction zone and I think that the driving in construction zone is the constant thing, that it's going to apply to either or. I think that was the interpretation of the legislature. Now, let's say this. It should know in 46-3-1 what the meaning of the statute is. And if there's some ambiguity in that meaning, then the statute is a problem with the statute.
Your Honor, that's just adopting 46-3-1 is only adopting the vehicle, Michigan Vehicle Code to write under that statute.
Okay.
That's, so it makes it a city charge instead of a state charge.
Okay, I got that. So where is the charge? Where is the charge that's written, driving while license suspended in a construction zone or driving while license invalid in a construction?
But that's the thing. If it was meant for a construction zone, it would have said that after the first one and then after the second one. So
see, but we're guessing. We're guessing. We're guessing. I mean, and I respect that's your interpretation of it, and Mr. Green has his interpretation of it, and that's where the conflict becomes. And basically, on its face, we don't. First of all, we don't have any other remarks from the officer, so that means basically on its face is some ambiguity. I think that it would be hard to dispute that.
And I think there's no ambiguity in it though, because it says the first part is driving without a license, or it's not saying about construction zone. If they, so there's no ambiguity because it says you drive without a license, or you're doing it under license without, license in a construction zone. Right. So this is one and this is two.
So you're saying therefore that if he was driving, if he was actually charged, if he was actually driving while license not valid in a construction zone, then it wouldn't be a case.
It would be, it's not, I'm saying that construction zone is irrelevant on the first issue because it just says driving without a license. Then it goes, or, we could go with driving without a license in the construction zone. I don't think the construction zone goes hand in hand for folks. Because if so, they would have said that in the first.
No, it wouldn't have, because we see license offenses all the time and it has the or there.
Correct. But so to encompass more things.
It has driving while license not valid or improper license. So when you got the construction zone there, it's driving while license not valid in the construction zone or with the improper license in the construction zone.
I kind of beg to differ on that.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. I see exactly both positions and both sides. It's a case that I've never been presented with, that I've never seen anyone write a ticket like this. But I would have to say that, I would have to say that this is an ambiguous ticket, because the way I've always seen tickets written, well, first of all, I've never seen a ticket. I've only seen driving while license not valid or driving while license improper. I've seen that a million times. I've never seen or, so that would cover you're not valid or your license is improper in some sort of way. I've never seen the added element of construction zone. And I can only surmise that the intent was to say drive while license not valid construction zone or driving while license improper construction zone. That would only make sense, because why is it? Because then it almost creates a bigger umbrella, in that the defendant really doesn't know exactly what he's charged with, so to speak. Because when you add that construction zone in, am I in a construction zone or am I not? Are my driving while license not valid? Or am I driving while license improper? And then does that, so it almost, the way that the people suggest, it almost creates like 3 different things. Does that make any sense, Counselor?
Yes.
Does that make any sense to people?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
So I think it's clearly, even, I think it's clearly an ambiguity somewhere.
I think it's, I believe it's straightforward. It says 1 or 2. That's what the or comes in.
Okay, and we have on this ticket as well, a check, below the remarks is check if appropriate. There had an opportunity of the officer to check construction zone. And that's not checked. So
wait till the client doesn't know who he properly charged with.
So
he knows if he has a valid driver's license or not.
Well, you don't know if he knows if he has a valid driver's license, but that's not the issue, because driving without a valid driver's license is a strict liability offense, correct? So it doesn't matter whether he knows or not. We're talking about, does he know what he's charged with? That's what the counselor is talking about. So the issue is not whether his driver's license was valid or not. I think that's one of the easier things to resolve. The issue is whether he knows what he's being charged with. And so let me ask you this, Counselor. If your position is correct, then we can only go by driving while license not valid, because the face of the ticket has an opportunity for the officer to check the construction zone box. He has improper licensed construction zone.
That's the or part, Your Honor.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
That's the argument is that, the people's argument is that the or it doesn't say either or, it says or. So you read 1, then you go or, when you have a choice, you can get A or B. It doesn't say A, I get B with A. It says A or B. 1 or 2.
I would agree with you if if that was just driving while license not valid or driving while license improper. I would agree with you on that. But when the extra wording is put in there, license construction zone, I don't know where, I've never seen that before. And I don't know where the officer got that added element, because we constantly see drove while license invalid, not valid, or driving while license improper. That's a daily routine in this court, and daily and probably everybody's practice here for many, many years. This licensed construction zone is not it. But as a practical matter, let's go back to, let's digress. It does have offense code 257301 written in the section,
which states that an individual must have a valid operational service license.
Now, does it mention anything about construction zone in that?
No, Your Honor.
That is my argument. It's the wrong statute. So because the wrong statute is written, it's defective on face. And my thing is, I'm not arguing question of fact. I'm arguing question of law. It's the question of law. First of all, the statute is the wrong statute that applies to the charge he's being charged with. And then, like I say, he does not know exactly what he's being charged with. And like I said, even the you mentioned about the construction zone, I saw it there and it wasn't checked. So that even give more rise for him to be conflicted about what he's actually charged with. And because the face of the ticket, the 4 corners of that ticket, Your Honor, it is defective on face. So that is my argument. I'm asking for it to be count 1 to be dismissed because it's defective on face.
So as a practical matter, Counselor, Even if I do dismiss count one, what about count two? Are you saying, is this your argument that count two shouldn't apply either, or
No, I'm not arguing that. My motion for that one, he did show me proof. He had valid proof that his insurance is valid until I can't remember the day, it's October something of 2021. I'm asking that it be dismissed under the memorandum of understanding with the Wayne County Prosecutor Office, since he provided proof.
Yeah, I will strongly object to it. I believe the ticket is valid on the space. And statute 301 says that it's an individual must have a valid operational chauffeur's license, and I believe that the or is a contingent and not a prerequisite or requirement.
That is a very interesting argument, very good argument. So basically, let me understand everything. As far as the way the statute 46-3-1, that just, if he has to check your a local ordinance, the person named above in violation of local ordinance. With that 46-3-1, all that's doing is giving that officer the authority to write the local ordinance that he says he's writing, and to be able to adopt it to the state of 257-1301. Is that correct? Correct. And then we have a no insurance misdemeanor. I don't want to ask whether your client actually had insurance at that time. Counselor, are you suggesting that your client should base the dismissal of the no insurance because of valid insurance at this time? Is that the memorandum of understanding says?
Yes, he have valid proof of insurance. He has it now, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're not talking about whether he had it at the time he was actually pulled over. Is that correct?
He showed me the current documentation. I didn't ask him if he had insurance documentation for then. I just saw the current one, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not gonna ask that question because he could or could incriminate himself by answering that question.
Correct. I just asked if he had valid documentation now, and he provided proof.
All right. So what my question to you, Counselor, is having the valid documentation now, is that cover a dismissal under the memorandum of understanding that the city and the state has entered into with the court?
Give me just 1 second, Your Honor. I'm gonna pull the memorandum of understanding.
All right. I understand.
Because I just want to make certain before I make that statement.
I have one. Let me see if I have it here. We gotta get this guy court date as well. There's not. I am in possession of insurance for Mr. Devin Green. This is a policy date effective 10/16/2020 and 10/16/2021, 2/10/16/2021. The ticket was written on 3/11/2020, so I'm not saying that Mr. Green did not have insurance at the time. It's just that Mr. Green has not provided the documentation for the correct date. So the court will make note of that. So we'll wait. Do you understand what's going on, Mr. Green? You're on mute, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ron, I can't find my copy of the MOU.
Let's see. Mrs. Nash.
Yes, sir.
Do you have access to those memorandums of understanding?
You want me to try to look it up and find it? I could,
No, you don't have to.
I could try and find it. Might be an old email.
Your Honor, can I go in the breakout room with my client?
Yes.
Go back into the breakout room, sir.
Who's that just came in on the iPhone?
My name's Edward Lanier. How you doing, Judge Perkins?
How you doing, Edward Lanier?
Yes, sir.
What, let's see. How can I help you, Mr. Lanier?
I was calling back. You told me you had me going through the Michigan defense driving course. You told me if I needed a little extra time to call. It's not taking me that long. It's just when I went to go take the course, I got like a 60%. I just needed a little more time to study, so I don't keep on putting like those bad, test scores up there.
Say your last name for me, please.
Lanier.
Edward.
Yes.
You got, okay. 2 cases, no insurance misdemeanors, and 1 speeding 21 to 25 over.
Correct.
Okay, let's see what we have for a date.
I know you extended it for me a little longer. It's just taking me longer. I don't want to.
You don't have to be back until September 24th. You got a whole month.
Oh, I thought you said August 22nd. I'm sorry about that. I'm just making sure, so I don't want to put it in default. Bro.
No, you're not. You're good until. I told you that you can come back in probably sooner than that. Oh. You have until September 24th, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot. Sorry about that, Mr. Perkins. Judge Perkins.
No apology needed. I appreciate you checking back in.
Okay, thanks a lot. Have a blessed.
You as well.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Bradfield, is there anything else before I make a ruling?
No, Your Honor. I know time is lunchtime is approaching. If we can't get a verification in regards to the memorandum of understanding, then if we could contact the state prosecutor.
Okay, do you want to? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and rule on the motion. And I've heard arguments on both sides as it relates to count 1, drove while license not valid, or improper license construction zone. Without any further information from the city as it relates to the charge, I do have 257.301, the MCL code that it was written under. And that code essentially states nothing about being in a construction zone. That just references the valid operator's license or chauffeur's license is required. It's group designations and endorsements it covers. It covers surrender or valid licenses, notice, number of licenses permitted, certifying non-possession of a valid license, and pandemic expiration extension. So, and that kind of throws a new wrinkle in the case, because when I read regarding it says for 2.7-301, paren 1, except as provided in this act, an individual shall not drive a motor vehicle on a highway in this state unless that individual has a valid operator's or chauffeur's license with the appropriate group designation and endorsements for the type or class of vehicle being driven or towed. A resident of this state holding a commercial driver's license group endorsement issued by another state shall apply for a license transfer within 30 days after establishing domicile in the state. So friend two is an individual shall not receive a license to operate a motor vehicle until that individual surrenders to the Secretary of State all valid licenses to operate a motor vehicle issued to that individual by this or any state, or certifies that he or she does not possess a valid driver's license. The Secretary of State shall notify the issuing state that the licensee is now licensed in this state. And friend three, an individual shall not have more than one valid driver's license. Friend four, an individual shall not drive a motor vehicle as a chauffeur unless that individual holds a valid chauffeur's license. An individual shall not receive a chauffeur's license until that individual surrenders to the Secretary of State a valid operator's license or chauffeur's license issued to that individual by this or any state, or certifies that he or she does not possess a valid driver's license. An individual, and this is section 5, an individual holding a valid chauffeur's license need not procure an operator's license. And 6, an operator's or chauffeur's license that expires on or after March 1st, 2020 is valid until March 31st, 2021. So essentially, I'm taking that 6th line to cover the pandemic expiration extension. An operator or chauffeur's license that expires on or after March 1st, 2020 is valid until March 31st, 2021. The court's going to make note of that line in particular moving forward. So the only one that I think is that Term 1, except as provided in this act, an individual shall not drive a motor vehicle on a highway in this state unless that individual has a valid operator's or chauffeur's license with the appropriate true designation and endorsement for the type of class of vehicle being driven or towed. A resident of this state holding a commercial driver's license endorsement issued by another state shall apply for a license transfer within 30 days after establishing domicile in the state. All right, so I guess that's what the officer was relating this incident to is 257.301 subsection 1. I've had arguments to essentially the ticket being defective on its face. That is the position of Mr. Green. And the response by Attorney Goss is that the ticket as it's written distinguishes the drove while license not valid or improper license in a construction zone. So if I'm understanding it correct, Mr. Goss's position, the city's position is that either he drove while license not valid or he drove improper license in a construction zone. I'll tell you this, that this is my first time seeing a ticket written this way since I've been practicing law. And most certainly since I've been on the bench, the limited amount of time that I've been on the bench, I haven't seen a ticket that's written this way. I see it written commonly as drove while license not valid or drove while license improper. So the court's going to rule in the defendant's for the defendant in this matter and grant this motion to dismiss count 1, drove while license not valid or improper license construction zone, because the court feels that the ticket is just ambiguous. The court feels that this ticket, as it's written, as a counselor suggested, that this ticket should have been written at least drove while license not valid or improper license / construction zone. And that, that slash, I think that would have, well, be it not there, I think that would have let it, Mr. Green know that he either drove in a construction zone while his license was not valid, or he drove in a construction zone while his license was improper. In this case, I just don't feel that, and without knowing what the officer's intent was or what the facts and circumstances of the situation were, whether it was a construction zone or not, or whether, you know, what the officer intended on how he wrote the ticket, and then let me state for the record as well that there is a box below the remarks that says check if appropriate. It does have a box, the first box is construction zone. So the officer at that time could have distinguished whether it was a construction zone or not. He has indicated here by silence and by not checking that box that it was not a construction zone, or he overlooked that. And I just think that that construction zone applies to driving while license not valid, and it applies to driving while license improper. I think that the intent would be that that would cover both situations. And that's the only logical conclusion that the court can really come to. And that's based on the court's experience in seeing these tickets time and time again. And that's based on, you know, that's going to be my ruling as far as that. So with that being said, the motion is granted to dismiss count 1. The other count 2 is a state matter. So at this time, the court will enter into, will offer the defendant to plead to a amended count of improper plates, fine him $240 for the no insurance matter. The court will also can give Mr. Green an opportunity to have a trial and bring in Officer Lord as it relates to the no insurance misdemeanor, or the court can contact the state attorney and the court can see if Mr. Green can see if you can get a better resolution for the matter from the state attorney. What would you like, what would your client like to do, Ms. Bradfield?
Speak to the state attorney, Your Honor.
Can we get the state attorney on the line, please? All right. See you at 1:30.
And thank you too, Your Honor, for the ruling.
Say that again, Madam Bradfield.
I said thank you too, Your Honor, for the ruling.
Yes, go ahead.
My client thanks you too. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. No, I mean, you know, and you know, again, I can't stress it anymore, and Mr. Green, how important it is to associate yourself with a good lawyer. And Ms. Bradfield is a pleasure to have her in this capacity where you're essentially getting her services for nothing, and she could charge a lot of money for things like that, and it would be she would be in yes. Okay, thanks. She would be and we discussed this discount because of the motion that was put on.
And Your Honor, he does have proof of his insurance. Can we get that over to the prosecutor as well?
Yes, you can let the prosecutor know that he has proof of insurance, and we have his counsel on the line, that if there's something question regarding it, then that she would like to speak with them regarding that. But going back to what I was saying, sir, you know, you need to make sure that you are associate yourself with a lawyer of that caliber, because you know many times lawyers do not recognize those nuances, and those really those nuances that are what can make and break a case, and by no means did I just rule in your favor because I like your lawyer or I like you. I don't even know you. I do like your lawyer, but I ruled that based on the arguments presented and based on her knowledge of the law, and based on how that was presented. So you thank your lawyer, don't thank me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bradfield. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sure she's not done.
Attorney Wolf is on the line.
I just got the ticket, I believe.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon, Ms. Wolf. Can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Good morning, or good afternoon, Alexander Wolf on behalf of the people, P84516.
I think we're right there. It's 11:58 according to time. It would be good morning, but I guess my clock here in the courtroom might be at 2 minutes fast. But anyway, we're here on the matter of Devin Green. Their ticket was written initially. Now, this even adds a further support for Mrs. Bradfield's motion. Now, I granted Mrs. Bradfield's motion to dismiss count one, and they give you a little back information on what happened. Ms. Bradfield, on Mr. Green's behalf, made a motion to dismiss count one. This count one, and you can see the ticket on it. You have a copy of the ticket. It's written as the drove while license not valid or improper license construction zone. And as I think of it more, you know, I always try to make sure that I make the right rulings. Ms. Bradfield, Mr. Green interpreted the ticket as he either drove while license suspended or drove while license improper in a construction zone, with the construction zone being the constant. However, the city attorney was read it as he either drove while license suspended or drove well, or improper license in a construction zone. So the construction zone only went to the improper license part of the ticket. Now, the court has never seen the ticket written like this, and the court ruled in Mr. Green's favor because I think only logically that the intent of the ticket, I don't even know if that construction zone is even a ticket that is applicable to any Detroit statute, because they didn't point that out. We only have the 46-3-1 that references the state and gives the city the authority to write the ticket under a city ordinance. That's what the understanding was. There was also a 257.301 that was referenced in the offense codes on number 1 at the ticket. But when I look into it even further, it would be, and I don't have any facts or knowledge of it, but when I think about why was Mr. Green stopped in the first place, it doesn't have anything but the no license and no insurance. And I can only imagine that Mr. Green was doing something according to what the officer has written on here, was doing something in the construction zone to get him stopped. So with all that being said, that leaves us with the no insurance misdemeanor. Now, Mrs. Bradfield, from her understanding of the memorandum of understanding, she has in possession of her possession, and the court did receive that as well from Mr. Green, a valid proof of insurance as of today's date. And that policy was from 10/16/2020 to 10/16/2021. Now, excuse me, the ticket does suggest that this no insurance was from the ticket date of 3/11/2020. So this policy of insurance, if we accept that as valid, even as a good policy now, it doesn't cover when the ticket was written. And that's not to say that he didn't have any insurance at that time. That's just to say that the policy, he hasn't supplied that documentation to the court. So with that being said, I'm going to give Mrs. Bradfield and you an opportunity to come to some sort of resolution on the no insurance misdemeanor. I think she wants to make some representations on behalf of her client.
Yes, my client does have proof that he has insurance. Now, I just wanted to ask, since he has proof that he has insurance, if that matter can be dismissed.
Given the fact that this ticket was during right when everything shut down, and that he does have insurance and did get it later in 2020, the people wouldn't have any objections to this matter being dismissed.
Thank you.
All right, very well. Well, I just, let me ask you, Mrs. Wolf, APA Wolf, have you ever seen the ticket written in that fashion?
No, I haven't, because typically when I see the city tickets with the insurance misdemeanors, it's usually under like 55-3-1. So I don't usually see the other.
Well, have you ever seen the ticket written drove while license not valid or improper license construction?
I have not.
And the court recognizes I've seen drove while license not valid or improper license millions of times, or I don't know about millions, but I think everybody in the room has seen it written like that a number of times, but I've never seen it written drove while license not valid or improper license construction zone. So that was where we were really hung up on, and there's no position for the state's position is that based on the pandemic and things happening, and now that Mr. Green has supplied valid driver's license at this time, then the court will dismiss the matter, and I appreciate your, you zooming in as well.
Of course, Judge. Thank you. You have a great day.
You would have a better one, thank you.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Of
Thank
course. Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
All right, so with that being said, let's see, Mr. Green, I'm going to I'm going to dismiss the matters. And for the discount one, the reason was stated on the record in count two, the state has willing to dismiss based on valid documentation at this time. And I'm going to waive any warrant fees, but you are going to be responsible to pay the reinstatement fee, Mr. Green.
Okay.
So thank your lawyer for doing just a remarkable job.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bradfield. You did a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. You're welcome.
I would suggest that if you come in any other situation, sir, then I would suggest you make a relationship with Ms. Bradfield or some other competent lawyer so that these things can be so that you can have representation right on the spot. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. If there's nothing further, sir, both matters are going to be dismissed, and you have a great day, sir.
You too. Have a good one.
All right.
Thank you again, Ms. Bradfield.
You're welcome, Mr. Green. Enjoy your day.
I'm taking you again.
All right. Ms. Bradfield, I appreciate that all the time. I wish I can have you in here permanently, but
I'll be there tomorrow.
Oh, you will? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Tomorrow morning?
I'm here tomorrow morning with you.
All right. See, I know I go a pretty long time, but I just like to be thorough. That's it.
And that's important.
My staff might be a little bit. Miss Nash, she says that she's here all day anyway, all day and night. So it doesn't even matter to her. I think it's better to get these cases closed out than her generating all that other paperwork. Miss Williams Law, she might be like, come on, Judge, cut it down a little bit and move on.
No, it's all good, Your Honor.
Right. So if there's nothing further, then I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, Ms. Bradfield.
All right. See you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
You as well. All right, Mr. Williams Law, it'll be maybe a shorter lunch period than we're used to having, but it's 1:30. We'll be back.
Hey, Your Honor.
All right, have a great lunch.
You too.